Welcome to the Real Estate Bee with your guide and as a trusted real estate expert, Daniela Gnecchi.
Hello and welcome to this news update. Today I will tell you what is the current interest rate if you'd like to get a mortgage to finance the purchase of your property in Spain. Who are the foreigners that are getting most mortgages? I will talk about the recent anti-tourism demonstrations of mid-June, how they went. We'll see also what's going on with the Spanish politics. And finally, I'll tell you something about Spain's beautiful beaches. First, please like this video preemptively. Subscribe. I will soon publish some videos about tourist rental apartments to present you some opportunities that, if you want to do strictly tourist rental, are perfect for you. So subscribe so you will be notified when the videos come out. And now let's start. The European Central Bank's 8th interest rate cut has lowered the deposit rate to 2%, driving the Euribor, which is the key mortgage reference index, to a new low of 2.081%. With forecasts, it will soon drop below 2%. This benefits variable rate mortgage holders with savings of nearly 1,650 euros annually on a mortgage of 150,000 for a 30-year loan, or up to 3,100 euros per year on a 300,000 euro loan. Ongoing trade tensions from US tariffs and a strong euro are prolonging this rate cut cycle. Banks are also slashing fixed mortgage rates to around 2%. Fueling a competitive mortgage market with more reductions expected between now and September. As of June 2025, the average interest rate on a mortgage in Spain for buying a property is around 2.97% to 3.08%. For residents, the average rates go between 2.5 and 3.9%. Non-residents is a bit higher, between 2.9 and 4.9%, depending on the lender and the financial profile. The fixed rate mortgages average about 3.05% to 3.17%. And the variable rate mortgages tied to the Euribor are around 2.82% up to 2.94%. The rates vary by loan term and whether the borrower is resident or non-resident. Usually, non-residents need to have a deposit between 30 and 40% compared to 20 to 30% for residents. So, how can you get the best mortgage options? Contact me, because I can get you in touch with mortgage brokers who've been working in Spain for many years. They bring a lot of clients to the banks. They can negotiate not only the best conditions, but also the fastest timing. They can make sure that you get more money as much as possible and in the fastest timing with the best rate possible. Who gets more mortgages? Germans are now the top foreign nationality applying for mortgages in Spain, making up around 16.6% of foreign demand in Q1 2025, according to Idealista. This is a jump from 15.3% share in 2024, and they widen the gap with the British applicants who are at 14.2%. Swiss, American, and French buyers follow with 8.7%, 7.7%, and 7.5% respectively. Foreigners account for 3.6% of all mortgage applications. Germans usually request smaller loans, an average of around 149,000 compared to a foreign average of 181,000, with Swiss and US buyers seeking over 200,000 euros. Most applicants finance 71 to 76% of the property price, with Germans at around 73% over 40 years terms. The Valencian community, Andalusia and Catalonia are the top destinations, attracting 27%, 21% and 15% of applications. The fixed rate mortgages dominate at 84%. But it's likely that the variable mortgages will pick up again if the decrease in the rates persists. On the 15th of June 2025, anti-tourism protests swept across Spain, Portugal, and Italy, targeting the impacts of mass tourism. Organizers invited demonstrators to bring water pistols, and the slogan was, "Tourism is stealing our bread, our homes, and our future. We defend the city. Tourism degrowth now." Someone should maybe explain to the people who joined these demonstrations that tourists actually are the ones who bring the bread, especially to these countries. They don't steal it. But anyway, how did it go? In Barcelona, 600 to 800 protesters, according to The Guardian, marched from Paseo de Gracia at noon, spraying tourists with water pistols outside luxury shops and hotels. They placed stickers reading "Tourists go home" on businesses and were stopped by the police before they could reach the Sagrada Familia. In Palma de Mallorca, the NPR reported 5,000 attendees. Marchers demanded limits on flights and short-term rentals, as apparently 1,000 locals live in vehicles due to unaffordable rents. In Ibiza, there were around 1,000 protesters. In San Sebastian, hundreds marched protesting high housing costs. And in Granada, Valencia, and Malaga, there were a few hundreds of protesters that again used water pistols and banners to demand tourism degrowth. Now, if you consider that earlier protests in April 2025 saw much larger crowds, around 12,000 people per city, you will notice that this protest was not exactly successful. Now, I agree that in some cities, like Barcelona, for example, there is a part of tourism that is not good and does not bring anything to the city. On the contrary, it creates disruptions and problems. But the housing crisis has absolutely nothing to do with tourist rentals, and it has always been the responsibility of the Spanish government to address the problem, not deviate responsibilities to private owners and people who do tourist rentals. They should have done it a long time ago by targeting illegal tourist rental and by facilitating access to the residential market, whether it's for purchase or rental, with the adequate measures. I have already spoken about this in other videos, and if you have watched my videos, you know that I had demonstrated that the current crisis has absolutely nothing to do with tourism. But now listen to this. You'll be interested in what I'm about to tell you. While Prime Minister Sanchez keeps blaming tourist rental for the housing crisis that he created himself, he's planning to transform Barcelona's airport into a global aviation hub by investing in a 3 billion expansion plan to expand El Prat's capacity to rival Europe's busiest airports. Central to his plan is a runway extension and the construction of a new satellite terminal to accommodate larger aircraft and increase long-haul connections, particularly to Asia. The project is backed by Spanish government, Sanchez, by the regional Catalan administration and the airport operator AENA. The environmentalists warn that this could irreversibly damage the fragile ecosystems as it would affect a protected wetland area that is home to rare plant life and migratory birds. Opponents argue that mass tourism, which according to Sanchez is one of Spain's and Barcelona's most pressing challenges, will definitely worsen with such a big expansion of the airport. So why is Sanchez on one side blaming tourist rental for his housing crisis and encouraging anti-tourism demonstrations, and on the other side planning to largely expand Barcelona's airport, which would definitely increase tourism? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, please. And talking about Spain's Prime Minister, Sanchez is battling a corruption scandal rocking his Socialist Party, with allegations prompting the resignation of a key ally, Santos Cerdán, the party's third highest official, over suspected kickbacks in public work contracts. The scandal is linked to a broader probe involving Sanchez's former transport minister, José Luis Ábalos. Sanchez's wife, brother, and Spain's top prosecutor are also under separate investigations, intensifying scrutiny on his inner circle. Now, I have a question for you. His wife, his brother, the top prosecutor, two of the top ministers are all involved in this corruption scandal. So what are the odds that he himself is not involved? Let's do a poll. Vote 1 to 10 in the comments, with 1 meaning the poor thing doesn't know anything about it, and 10 meaning he's the one who organized everything, but he did it very well. You know, we have to joke about politics. Otherwise. Anyway, all this has fueled calls for Sanchez's resignation, though he himself at the moment faces no charges. Sanchez apologized at the party headquarters, vowing to serve until 2027. But his coalition partner, Sumar's Yolanda Díaz, said that an apology isn't enough and demanded a government reset. The Catalan separatists, Sanchez's allies, requested an urgent meeting to assess the coalition's viability. The opposition party, the PP, demanded Sanchez to step down, but ruled out a no-confidence vote because they are worried it could backfire. Sanchez denied illegal party funding in a heated parliament session, defending his party's decisive response, including Cerdán's resignation and Ábalos' expulsion. He rejected early elections, instead seeking talks with the coalition allies to rebuild trust. Analysts suggest that Sanchez may need a confidence vote to stabilize his very fragile minority government, as polls show that the PP is slightly ahead. Critics, including El Mundo, call his position untenable. We'll see what happens. And let's finish on a very positive note. Spain boasts 642 blue flag beaches in 2025, the most worldwide, up 4 from last year, with 16 new additions and 23 regaining the status. Blue flags signify top-tier cleanliness, safety, accessibility, and environmental care, meeting strict international standards set by the Foundation for environmental education. These beaches offer crystal clear water, lifeguards, facilities, toilets, disability access, and sustainable practices. Valencia region leads with 143 blue flag beaches, followed by Andalusia with 138, 8 more than 2024, Galicia with 108, Catalonia has 101, Canary Islands 47, the Balearics 32, and Murcia 29. 7 beaches, including La Fossa in Calpe, have held the blue flag for 37 years, since 1987. Additionally, 101 marinas and 6 tourist boats earned blue flags, reinforcing Spain's coastal excellence. So, despite politics that hopefully will change soon, Spain remains a wonderful country, worth exploring and considering for both relocation and investments. Stay tuned, as we will talk about this very soon. For now, thank you very much for watching my video. I'm very grateful to all of you who are watching my videos and are subscribing and leaving comments. Thanks a lot. I will see you very soon. In the meantime, take care.